Artificial intelligence helps solve rare diseases. Google loses another superstar researcher. Intelligence agencies warn that AI could destabilize governments. And AI-powered smart glasses continue their comeback.
Welcome to DJAMGAMIND Daily AI Intelligence for Monday, June 22nd, 2026.
I'm Anna. This podcast is researched and produced by Etienne Newman, senior software engineer and passionate soccer dad from Canada. Today we see both the promise and the peril of artificial intelligence. At Boston Children's Hospital and Harvard, OpenAI's U3 model helped doctors solve medical mysteries that specialists had failed to crack for years. At the same time, security agencies from 5 allied nations issued a stark warning that frontier AI systems could dramatically increase cyber risks in the coming months.
Meanwhile, another legendary scientist is leaving Google DeepMind. Microsoft is considering embracing Chinese model DeepSeek. And AI-powered smart glasses are fueling renewed excitement around augmented reality.
Today's stories reveal that artificial intelligence is increasingly becoming both humanity's most powerful tool and one of its greatest responsibilities. Let's unravel the future.
You know, when you or a loved one is dealing with a mysterious health issue, you go to a specialist expecting answers.
Right, you want a clear diagnosis.
Exactly. You expect it to be this neat puzzle where all the pieces are just right there on the table waiting to be put together.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just hit a wall.
Yeah.
And it's not that the doctors aren't brilliant. I mean, they are. It's that the human brains simply have limits.
Absolutely.
There are only so many hours in a day to, read medical journals, cross-reference symptoms, and hunt through disconnected databases.
Yeah.
It leaves families stuck in this awful diagnostic limbo, just waiting for a breakthrough.
Well, we like to think of modern medicine as this all-seeing network, but the reality is that the data is incredibly siloed.
Yeah, that's so true.
I mean, a critical clue might exist in a clinic halfway across the world, but if your local doctor doesn't have the time or the resources to find it, it might as well not exist.
And that incredibly high-stakes bottleneck was the focus of a recent project out of Boston Children's Hospital and Harvard.
Such a fascinating study.
It really is.
Yeah.
So researchers took 376 unsolved pediatric genetic cases. And these were the heartbreaking ones,
The dead ends.
Total dead ends. Human specialists had just completely run out of bandwidth. So they fed these cases like de-identified symptoms, suspect genes, inheritance patterns into OpenAI's O3 Deep research model.
And they just let it loose.
Right. They let it loose on public databases and global medical research. And the model managed to confirm 18 new diagnoses from that exact backlog.
That is just huge for those families.
It's life-changing. But the real kicker here is that in 7 of those cases, the diagnosis actually already existed in another clinic or public database.
Wow.
Yeah, it just had never reached the patient's local medical records.
See, it acts as an impossibly efficient retrieval and correlation engine.
Right.
The model doesn't suffer from fatigue, It can scan millions of pages of literature and global patient registry simultaneously. It's spotting patterns that a human doctor would take, literally a lifetime to manually uncover.
And that capability is exactly where our deep dive today begins. Welcome in, everyone. We have an absolutely massive stack of sources to get through today.
So much to cover.
Yeah, all major developments from today, June 22, 2026. Before we jump into the rest of it, a quick note. Today's deep dive is sponsored by AIRA, and it is researched and produced by Etienne Newman, senior software engineer and founder at DJAMGAMIND, based in Canada.
Our mission today is to really cut through the absolute noise of endless model updates and corporate reshuffling.
Because there's a lot of noise.
There is, but we are looking at a fundamental shift in how human capability is structured.
Yeah, if there's one overarching theme to the sources we're looking at today, it's this. The age of augmented expertise has begun.
I love that framing.
It's what's happening. And we're going to distill what this means for real-world applications, the looming cybersecurity risks, and, who the ultimate winners and losers are in this new era.
Let's do it.
Let's unpack this Boston Children's Hospital story a little bit more first. Because giving a doctor a brilliant medical resident who has memorized literally every journal article on Earth and never needs to sleep, it sounds like a miracle.
It does.
But it also sounds a bit like a replacement. Are we simply phasing out the human geneticist?
Oh, no, not at all. This is the absolute definition of augmentation, not replacement.
Okay, how so?
Well, roughly half of all rare disease cases go unsolved even after full genome sequencing. Clinicians simply do not have the physical bandwidth to constantly re-examine old patient files every single time a new research paper is published.
Right, because there's just a mountain of new papers every day.
Exactly. So the AI solves the data fragmentation problem. It finds the needle in the haystack, clearing the backlog so human doctors can actually verify those leads and focus on treating the patient.
So they still make the final call.
Always.
Yeah.
The human judgment remains the final critical filter.
So the AI finds the needle, and the human doctor decides how to sew with it.
That's a great way to put it.
But to build these miraculous medical models, you need augmented human experts of your own. And right now, there is a fierce, cutthroat war over a very small pool of top-tier talent capable of engineering these systems.
The talent war is honestly the biggest story in the industry right now.
Yeah, so John Jumper, the co-creator of AlphaFold and an actual Nobel Laureate in chemistry, just announced he is leaving Google DeepMind after 9 years.
And he's heading to Anthropic, which is, well, the timing is incredibly strategic.
Right before their big event, right?
Exactly. Anthropic has a major science event scheduled for June 30th. And to put this in perspective for you, Google led the frontier in 2024 and 2025.
Right.
And that was largely built on the back of DeepMind's unassailable edge in scientific AI. AlphaFold revolutionized biology by solving protein structure prediction.
It was a massive deal.
So losing a titan like Jumper to a direct rival puts that specific scientific lead at severe risk for Google.
And this comes literally days after Noam Shazeer, the co-lead of Google's Gemini, left for OpenAI. It's like the architectural team that designed the Burj Khalifa suddenly leaving to build skyscrapers for two different competitors right before ground breaks on a new project.
That's spot on. It really highlights that in the age of augmented expertise, the true bottleneck isn't compute power anymore.
It's the people.
It's visionary human talent. Google is bleeding the exact people who define the current paradigm, and that signals a potential permanent power shift away from them toward Anthropic and OpenAI.
Wow. But this talent war isn't just about building better software in a vacuum. It's about how you, the listener, will actually interact with this augmented expertise on a daily basis.
Oh, absolutely.
Because staring down at a phone screen is starting to feel, very outdated. We're looking at a hardware revolution right now, specifically in augmented reality.
A hardware infrastructure is finally catching up to the software.
The numbers are wild. The Q1 2026 data shows that smart glasses without displays, so devices that just use camera and audio interfaces, they surged 167% year over year.
That is massive growth.
Yeah, that's 2.25 million units sold in just 3 months.
Well, for years, AR had three massive hurdles, right? Utility, form factor, and price.
Right, like the Apple Vision Pro.
Exactly. Incredible technology. But at $3,500 and the size of ski goggles...
It's a really tough sell for just walking down the street and living your life.
Right. But multimodal AI seems to be the exact catalyst AR was waiting for. It completely solves the utility problem.
How so? By seeing what you see.
Yes. By giving the AI access to cameras and microphones, it gains spatial context. You aren't typing a prompt on a keyboard. You are looking at your living room and just asking out loud how a mid-century modern sofa would fit in the corner.
That's wild. And because the AI is doing the thinking elsewhere.
Exactly. Because the AI is handling the heavy lifting in the cloud, the physical hardware on your face can shrink down.
Right.
Manufacturers like Snap with their specs, XR with the Aura, and Qualcomm producing the Snapdragon AR Elite chip, they're able to make these devices look and feel like normal eyeglasses.
It kind of reminds me of navigation, like looking at ChatGPT on your phone is like looking down at a paper map.
Yeah.
But AR smart glasses, they're like having a local guide walking right beside you, whispering in your ear, seeing exactly what you see.
What's really driving this hardware revolution is this intense consumer desire for an ambient AI assistant.
Ambient meaning it's just always there.
Right, an assistant that exists seamlessly in the real world. But powering that ambient reality requires back-end infrastructure scaling to, unimaginable sizes, which is exactly why Tesla just trademarked the term megapod.
A megapod. Okay, what exactly does that look like mechanically?
So it's a massive bundle of servers, networking equipment, power supplies, and liquid cooling. And it's all prepackaged specifically for AI data center workloads.
So it's like a plug-and-play data center.
Essentially, yeah. Because as edge devices, our glasses and wearables get smaller and lighter, the compute power required in the cloud to process that real-time continuous video and audio stream gets exponentially larger.
Yeah, someone has to process all that video.
Oh, exactly. The megapod is the physical modular infrastructure needed to deploy that massive compute power rapidly anywhere in the world.
The glasses shrink, the data centers grow.
Precisely.
And this massive scale of hardware and software is forcing traditional corporate ecosystems to evolve instantly or die. I mean, look at the media industry.
The media landscape is unrecognizable right now.
It really is. Getty Images just saw their stock completely skyrocket on the news of a multi-year deal with OpenAI.
Yeah, their stock surged 120% on the announcement alone.
That's insane.
It is. The deal allows OpenAI to display licensed photos from Getty inside ChatGPT's new search features.
Wait, look at Getty's history, though. Weren't they the ultimate anti-AI crusader?
They definitely were.
I mean, they outright banned all AI-generated art from their libraries. They famously sued Stability AI for copyright infringement. Isn't this just a massive hypocritical if you can't beat them, join them moment?
It's definitely a radical pivot.
I mean, now they have their own NVIDIA-powered AI tool, they're licensed to Perplexity, and now they're partnering with OpenAI.
Well, hypocritical or not, it is a necessary survival tactic. Media companies have realized over the last year that taking a staunch, litigious, anti-AI stance is just a losing battle against the tide.
They just get left behind.
Right. And the specific mechanism of this deal is crucial. They are licensing data for display, not necessarily for training.
Okay. That's a big difference.
Exactly. When a user asks ChatGPT a question, the system retrieves and displays a verified Getty image as part of the answer, and Getty gets paid for that placement.
So it's basically a new ad model?
Pretty much. It secures a new revenue stream in a post-search engine world where traditional web traffic is just plummeting.
So they aren't letting OpenAI learn how to draw watermarks or anything. They're just making sure they get a cut when the AI acts as a search engine.
Yeah, it's pure business.
And they aren't the only ones adjusting their strategies.
Yeah.
We see A24, the beloved indie movie studio, they're taking a $75 million investment from Google to build AI filmmaking tools.
That surprised a lot of people.
Yeah. And at the exact same time, Amazon MGM Studios just completely scrapped a nearly finished film about Sam Altman.
The ecosystem alignment there is just glaring.
I mean, Amazon recently poured $50 billion into OpenAI.
Right. So releasing a potentially critical film about the CEO of your most significant technological partner is, well, it's no longer a viable business move.
No kidding.
These corporate alliances are solidifying into actual fiefdoms.
You definitely do not bite the hand that feeds you $50 billion.
Yeah.
But, perhaps the most aggressive corporate pivot is happening over at Meta.
Oh, the WhatsApp move?
Yeah. They just led a $900 million funding round into an Indian fintech startup called CRED. That values the company at $4.5 billion.
Huge numbers.
And the underlying reason for this massive investment appears to be poaching its founder, Kunal Shah, to make him the brand new CEO of WhatsApp.
Right. Shah replaces Will Cathcart, and his mandate there is highly specific.
What's a good goal?
He is tasked with integrating AI agents, targeted advertising, and subscription models directly into WhatsApp.
Which has 500 million users in India alone. But wait, why target India for this integration rather than, say, the US or Europe?
Well, India is a massive mobile-first population. Over there, messaging apps already function as the center of the financial and social internet.
Ah, so they're already used to doing everything in chat.
Exactly. It is the perfect testing ground for consumer AI agent integration. People there are accustomed to conducting business, paying bills, and interacting with services through chat interfaces.
So dropping an AI in there is seamless.
Right. Deploying AI agents in that environment reduces user friction to practically zero.
Wow. But, while these massive corporations are meticulously planning their agent ecosystems, the traditional media systems are still springing leaks all over the place.
Yes, the data scraping issues.
The Atlantic just reported that 4 different massive song datasets are currently circulating online, and they contain millions of completely unlicensed tracks.
Which perfectly illustrates the ongoing chaos in the training data landscape.
It's a mess.
It really is. Audio models require vast amounts of spurited stems, isolated vocals, drums, bass lines, to learn how to actually generate high-quality music.
And people are just scraping this without permission.
Yes. These circulating datasets bypass the traditional licensing gatekeepers entirely, and the legal and financial implications for the music industry are staggering.
Because the AI can just spit out new songs based on that stolen data.
Exactly. Models trained on this scraped audio can generate commercially viable tracks without paying a single cent to the original artists who inadvertently provided the training foundation.
It's the Wild West of data collection. And That unauthorized scraping of copyrighted audio actually transitions us into a much more severe consequence of this technological democratization.
The cybersecurity risks.
Yeah, we are looking at a real dark side here. This extreme capability lowers the barrier to entry for devastating global threats.
It's definitely the most alarming part of today's sources.
The sources today include a rare joint statement from the Five Eyes intelligence agencies. So that's the US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and Canada.
Right.
They are warning that AI models powerful enough to take down governments and businesses are months away, and they are urging a whole-of-society response.
The intelligence community is heavily focused right now on the capabilities of frontier models like Anthropic's new Mythos and Fable 5.
What specifically are they worried those models can do?
Well, the concern is that these models possess the specific reasoning capabilities required to autonomously discover and exploit zero-day vulnerabilities in critical cyber infrastructure.
Autonomously, as in without a human directing them.
Exactly. The threat is so credible that the U.S. government actually suspended those specific models from being used by foreign nationals operating within the country this past June.
Wow. Which makes this next piece of corporate maneuvering incredibly complex.
Oh, the Microsoft situation.
Yeah. While the Five Eyes are warning about these frontier AI threats, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella announced they are weighing whether to host DeepSeek.
Right.
And DeepSeek is an ultra-low-cost Chinese AI model. And not only is it a foreign model, but OpenAI and Anthropic have actively accused DeepSeek of copying their proprietary architecture.
It's a massive controversy.
So how can a major U.S. tech giant justify hosting a Chinese model accused of IP theft, right when our own intelligence agencies are screaming about frontier AI national security threats?
I mean, it reveals the profound hypocrisy and tension within the current cloud compute market.
What's the logic for Microsoft then?
Microsoft, like all major cloud providers, is caught in a brutal price war. Their enterprise customers are suffering from soaring AI compute bills, and Nadella just needs to provide low-cost relief to maintain his market share.
And DeepSeek is cheap.
Very cheap. Hosting DeepSeek achieves that immediate business goal because the model operates at a fraction of the cost of Western alternatives. It's crazy. So tech giants are simultaneously lobbying governments for protectionist policies against foreign AI on national security grounds, while actively trying to host those same foreign models on their own servers to pad their bottom lines.
It is a pure clash of incentives. You have global business demands for efficiency and lower operating costs colliding directly with national security directives and the protection of proprietary intellectual property.
And the geopolitical fallout isn't just contained to software regulations either. It is spilling over into physical space.
The hardware supply chain is heavily involved now.
Yeah, China just retaliated against the U.S. Pentagon's 1260H military blacklist.
For context for the listener, the 1260H list specifically targets foreign entities operating in the United States that are identified as contributors to adversarial military capabilities.
Okay.
So, in response to this digital and financial blockade, China restricted exports of rare earth materials to U.S. defense and tech firms.
So companies like MP Materials and Teal Drones are suddenly just being cut off from the physical supply chain. It is a direct physical chokehold. I mean, you cannot build a megapod, an AI data center, or an advanced drone without advanced chips and rare earth metals.
The cloud is heavily grounded in physical reality.
Exactly.
Which perfectly explains the intense warning from Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick to ASML.
Yeah, that was a huge development.
He suggested that one of their highly advanced chip-making machines may have bypassed sanctions and actually reached China.
And ASML manufactures extreme ultraviolet lithography machines. These are arguably the most complex pieces of machinery on Earth.
And they're essential for AI chips, right?
Completely essential. They're needed for printing the microscopic transistors on the frontier chips that power AI. If a sanctioned entity manages to acquire one of these machines through a shadow supply chain, it completely undermines the Western strategy of capping adversarial compute capabilities.
So the hardware supply chain is basically the ultimate geopolitical chessboard right now.
100%.
Man, we've covered the medical models solving impossible genetic cases, the Nobel-level talent bleeding out of Google, the ambient reality of AR smart glasses, massive corporate pivots like Getty and Meta, and the looming geopolitical cyber threats over the physical supply chain.
It is a staggering amount of transformation.
And it's all encapsulated in just a single day of sources from June 2026.
Yeah, and synthesizing all these disparate data points reveals a remarkably clear trajectory for the next decade.
Where are we headed?
We are rapidly moving away from AI as a discrete tool, something you actively open an app or a browser window to use.
Right.
Instead, it is becoming an ambient, augmented layer. It will be a constant, invisible computational layer draped over every profession, integrated into every wearable device, and deeply embedded as a core asset in every global geopolitical conflict.
The infrastructure of reality itself is being upgraded.
Exactly.
But, before we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave you, the listener, with a final thought to mull over on your own. We started today talking about the brilliant medical resident in the machine, right? Perfectly diagnosing genetic diseases by finding connections human doctors missed.
Yeah, an incredible capability.
But if this ambient AI truly becomes the ultimate flawless expert in everything from medical diagnoses to drafting global economic policy, what happens to the value of human intuition?
That's the million-dollar question.
In a world saturated with perfect, augmented expertise, will our human flaws, our quirks, and our unique ability to make unpredictable, irrational leaps of logic actually become our most valuable defining feature?
That is the philosophical frontier we are rapidly approaching.
Something to think about as you go about your day. A huge thank you to all of you for joining us on this deep dive. Don't forget to subscribe to the DJAMGAMIND channel on Apple to stay in the loop with daily AI innovations and help support independent podcasting.
Thank you so much for listening.
Until next time, remember, the data is out there. You just have to know how to look. Take care, everyone.
That concludes today's DJAMGAMIND Daily AI Intelligence Briefing. The biggest takeaway is simple. Artificial intelligence is becoming an amplifier, not just of productivity, but of expertise. Doctors can solve more cases. Travelers can experience the world differently. Businesses can access intelligence once reserved for specialists. Yet the same systems that augment human capabilities can also amplify risks. As AI grows more powerful, the challenge facing humanity won't simply be building smarter systems. It will be learning how to use them wisely. Thank you for listening. This podcast is researched and produced by Etienne Newman, senior software engineer and passionate soccer dad from Canada. If you enjoy these daily intelligence briefings, please follow the DJAMGAMIND Intelligence channel and share this episode with colleagues, friends, and fellow AI enthusiasts. I'm Anna. Stay informed, stay adaptable, and keep unraveling the future.
And before you go, if your company is building the tools that power the workflows we talked about today, I'd love to showcase them to this audience. We don't just run ads, we build technical simulations that prove your value. Let's build something together. Visit jamgamind.com/partners to get started. Until next time, keep building.